Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of January the 6th, 2023, not 2022. What does the success of Avatar 2 mean for Alita, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado, and with me we have Vlotty, and he's from the UK. How's it going, Vlotty?
Evening, Creaky. Evening, everyone.
Nice. So how's it going over there in the UK?
All good, really windy. Just been on a walk. Extremely windy. I was getting blown over. But it's been very mild. It's not been too cold, which is good.
Do you do walks as a part of your, kind of health, kind of regimen or something like that?
I suppose so, yeah. It's nice to go for a walk,
Yeah, I do that myself. It's a good one of the good things you can do to stay in shape, I guess. So yeah. And Jealous, I'm not sure if he's going to make it today or not. I never can tell with his work schedule. I mean, if he does, he's usually late because he's, it's kind of early over there in Aussie land. So and they're in the future. So that's one of the reasons why
that's crazy schedule, man. Crazy schedule.
That's right. Plus, he gets called in a lot,
I know. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Does he have to do? He might have to do overtime as well. That sucks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he does that and all. But I think he is grateful though that he has a job. I think that for sure.
Definitely.
But, yeah, that's for sure.
So to pay the bills.
You betcha.
So many bills.
Yes. Yes, you definitely got to pay those bills. There's no doubt about it. So that's just the way it goes. It's
those massively crushing bills.
Yeah, and I invited several others. I invited, I guess, Chaos. I invited Kran in case you want to come on. Kran kind of has a busy Friday night. I think she, basically she does a gaming thing. Plus, she's doing
having a party with the rabbits.
Yeah, that kind of stuff too. Yeah, definitely doing that. So I see Finn's out there. Hello, Finn.
Evening, Finn.
You betcha. Finn's over there in Switzerland. I guess it is. I think you're still there, Finn. But anyway, we'll have some other folks come on. I invited Maxie, although Maxie usually gets wifed on what he calls Saturday, what we call Friday. Although for you, Vlotty, it's only going to be Saturday for the next hour or so, isn't it? So, or Friday rather for the next hour or so.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be Saturday in an hour.
You betcha. Well, before we get into the main topic here, we just want to remind everybody to go and sign that petition. Right now, as of this morning, we have 177,269 signatures on it.
It's still ticking away.
Yeah, it's still we get about 40 a week, I think, is what we've been averaging on that. So, hey, that's better than not. Oh, there's Angelus. Yes.
Yeah. Finally woke up.
Hoka hey, good day there, Angelus.
Hoka hey.
Yeah. So how you doing, man? How's everything down there in Brisbane and Queensland, Australia?
Nice and warm.
Yeah, I bet. That's right. It's summer down there.
How's it in the UK?
Yes. Well, it's cold here.
It's not that cold here. It's just windy. I was just saying to Creek.
Yeah, I think it's about 20 something, maybe 27, which is about 3 or 4 degrees below 0 Celsius. So it's nice.
Angelus, is your whole apartment air conditioned?
Yes.
Nice.
It must suck in Australia to not have air conditioning.
Yes.
In the summer.
Yeah.
Well, it's expensive.
Some people don't have it. It's so hot there.
It's definitely expensive to keep it running.
Yeah, I can never tell with your schedule, Angelus, whether you're going in or whether you're working overtime or whether you've been called in, off shift or off schedule, rather. So can never tell with our Angelus, as they would say.
I'm an enigma.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
So
not like the real Enigma. I'm just strange.
you're not seeking anything, are you?
No.
You're not seeking Enigma. You just are an Enigma. So yeah. Okay, so anybody that hasn't signed the petition, which I am so sure everybody on this stream signed the petition already, but if you haven't, go over there.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I reckon we should all share screens and all load up the thingo, and then we'll like, yeah, weed them out.
Yeah, and I just want to reply to Finn there. Finn, I am not angry at you in any way. I don't.
Well, something's been.
Yeah. Well, something's brewing with Finn. He thinks I'm mad at him or something. I'm not. Really not. So anyway, yeah, Finn, you're cool, man. No problem. So
Finn's always cool.
Yeah, he is. So anyway. Okay, well, I guess let's get on to the old main topic here. And I think before we get into discussing, what Avatar, 2 means, for Alita itself, we kind of need to do some setup here, I think. Certainly one big setup is, before we even get into this, one big setup, of course, is that, right after the film came out in 2019, it wasn't but a couple of months after that, the Alita Army was born. So one of the things about, which we'll get to talking about this a little bit later, one of the pluses for an Alita 2 is the fact that there is an army now behind Alita. There's some committed fans, that want to see.
Exactly. We didn't really get started till after the film had already had its opening weekends and stuff.
That's right. As a matter of fact, it was a couple of months, wasn't it, Vladi? I don't remember.
I'd say, I don't know, sooner than that.
Oh, okay.
Way sooner than that.
Yeah. Because
I think pretty quickly, but like it's like that opening weekend is like really important to like set the tone.
Yeah.
And if we're there in advance to boost the movie and stuff, we can make a good difference.
Wait, let's see. You're a founding member, aren't you? I mean, weren't you there from the very get-go in the Elite Army?
One of the founding fathers of the Elite Army.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the tweeting fathers of the Elite Army.
That's right. Yeah, you and I guess Dennis and Dizzy and Maxie and several others. Den, I guess, too, was probably part of that.
Yeah, there's a lot. I hope they all come back when the sequel gets announced.
I
the best reunion party ever.
Yeah,
lots of people obviously drifted away as time's gone by.
We need Alita movie. We need Doc Ito and all those.
Yeah, Doc Ito, return, please.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he could have been doing such good Avatar coverage, and he would have been like sticking it to the haters so much. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have.
Because of his Avatar 2 smashing it.
Because of his link with the leader too. Like, I mean, he'd have.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the word when you're like the type of person that you know what you're talking about?
The expertise.
I guess I was thinking of a different word, but yeah, expertise.
Yeah,
like he'd have the expertise.
He knew his numbers.
Yeah. And yes, Finn, we are definitely avocados.
These are avocados.
Yeah, that's right. That's us, So anyway, but I want to play this video, and we've seen this, but I just want to kind of set up the discussion about, in addition to there now being an Alita Army, there's now a big push for this, and here's kind of one really important one right here.
Hey, let's make another Alita film. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do that. Fans,
all right,
more
Blood Oath.
Let's do it.
Right,
Blood Oath right here.
Okay, all right,
sounds good.
All right, thanks, Robert.
So that is a big deal right there.
That's the sequel greenlit.
That's pretty close. If that's not the official one, it is damn close to it. Of course, we'll get the official announcement, from probably from Cameron. I know Maxie's brought this up several times, that probably Disney may not announce it themselves, on their, on one of their shareholders meetings, or, in their website or something, or a news broadcast or something like that. But probably Cameron would, but Disney they might do it. You don't know, but this is the next best thing right here. These two guys want to do this, and they are committed to doing it. So that's a big plus right there, for sure.
Yeah, it would just be objectively awesome. They love the character. It's just a no-brainer decision, really. But
I think so. I mean,
Disney
they certainly got plenty of material to do it. That's for sure. Of all of the stories they could get from the manga, now in this case right here, particularly with Cameron, he's all about a sequel. I think Rodriguez, I don't know if he's already pitched Disney or not about the series, because I know there was some discussion, or at least he did say, or we had heard, that if Boba Fett went well, that he was going to pitch an Alita series. So, in some way, this might be, we get two. We might get a sequel and then a series real soon on its heels,
Well, if you want to make a movie sell well, it'd be good to have a TV show building up to it.
Yeah, you could do that first, or maybe do a series on the Mars Chronicles or something like that, which we've gone over that 2 or 3 times on this stream. And I know we talked about it on Radio Chaos once or twice. So, I mean, it's they certainly have enough material to do this. There's no doubt. They got to do some creativity here, because you can't just put the movie together based strictly on the manga, because for one thing, the manga is pretty dark. And if you're going to do a series, particularly if you're going to involve kids, a manga is going to be a little too dark for them, but they could adapt it in such a way, or modify it in which it stays true to the canon, and is entertaining for, kids and adults alike, really.
Yeah, it could get pretty dark if it's going to be a Hulu thing.
Yeah, it could.
Just depends which way they go. Because Disney Plus UK and like everywhere else international, they just have all the Hulu stuff on Disney. So it's less kid friendly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Hulu Plus.
So if they just put it on Hulu, the TV show, and Disney Plus everywhere else.
Yeah, that's right. I think then
that could still be pretty mature.
Well, it'd go gangbusters, particularly since some of the series that Disney has put on has really not been that successful. I mean, I have
no idea with streaming how you can tell.
Well, I mean, for one thing, there was that they did a reboot, or they did another short story on Pinocchio, which I think is a neat little story, but man, it just flopped big time. It got really bad ratings on.
The Pinocchio, yeah.
Yeah, and it got bad
Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Well, but it got bad ratings on Rotten Tomatoes and all that kind of stuff.
God, it looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
not touching that with a 10-foot barge pole. Sorry.
Looks like Jeff says we ought to fly another banner. Oh yeah, that's a possibility there, Jeffrey, for sure. But yeah, this is probably where we'll see it. We'll probably see James Cameron make the announcement, or at least come out with something like this, similar to this, a very short, quick video saying that, that, hey, we're going to do a series, or a sequel rather, excuse me. That's what Cameron would probably do. Now, Awesome Dawson is worried that, that they might water down Alita. And that's something that several of us have we've expressed concerns about that, because, Disney's got a brand that they got to kind of protect, and Alita can be kind of dark, in places, or in very violent in places. But probably the way I see it is that they would probably release Alita, or greenlight it, through the 20th Century Studios movie, kind of like they did Avatar 2. That way, it's not, directly connected to their brand. Now an Alita series would be different. They'd have to water that down, I think.
Not if they put it on Hulu. Not well, maybe a little bit.
Well, something that people have got to understand is no one, and absolutely no one, touches a Cameron property but Cameron. And if he says Robert can play in this playground, then only Robert Rodriguez will be able to like
Yeah.
Damn right.
like be able to affect it. And you quite saw that in Alita 1 even. Like it
Yeah.
had still had some stylistic flares that Robert's known for. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you know, like with all due respect to Cameron, because you know he's got the chops to pull it off. Robert kept the costs down to like 200 million, like before tax breaks and whatnot. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah, I think it's 150
So-
million or 170 million rather,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Angelus, not 200 million.
Net.
Oh,
so,
net. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it-
right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, and Robert himself said like having James Cameron around is like having a Terminator watch your back, and he had the freedom to do what he wanted to do, and that was to like make a James Cameron movie through his eyes,
Yeah.
which is exactly what it was. And
Mhm.
going into mentioning the darker aspects, I mean, you saw a glimpse of that even in Alita 1.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sin City is, well, Sin City.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was pretty
So he's
dark.
definitely, yeah, he's definitely got the,
That was wild. I love that.
did he
Yeah, I
do
did too.
Dark City as well?
No.
I don't know.
Dark City, the sci-fi one with
Oh, Alex Proyas
Jennifer
did that
Connelly.
one.
That wasn't Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was Alex Proyas. He's another one, but I mean, he's in like good mates, so
Yeah.
he doesn't have that connection with Cameron,
Yeah.
which is probably
they-
why.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Angelus.
I was just gonna say that's why he's, he got the nod for the job rather
Yeah.
than anyone else.
Yeah. Well, and he did such a good job with Alita. David Watson's concerned more with the financial aspect of this because it's not about the lack of, what kind of material they can rely on, to develop stories out of, but are they going to make money? David, we're going to talk about that a little bit later because we have some real positive news on that one in terms of Avatar too. But anyway, yeah, but you're absolutely right. If the movie, if the movie makes tons of money and you can extrapolate that to Alita, particularly because, now we got an army that's going to help them market it, basically for nothing, so I think we're going to be okay there, but we'll chat about that one a little bit. I got something coming up on that. Finn, I don't know if Elon Musk is going to put any money into it. I know he's done a tweet or two about Alita, but I don't know if he's
gone quiet on Alita.
Well, he's lost money here in the past few months, so I'm not sure. He might not be keen on investing too much more in other things, But yeah, 20th century is the way I think Jeff kind of agrees that 20th century is going to be the way, it's going to be the way to go, I think, because they got a similar situation like they had in the 90s when they had Touchstone Pictures, which did all the heavy stuff, that would have possibly damaged Disney's brand. And they put those kind of movies under Touchstone Pictures. Well, they got a similar situation now with 20th Century Studios, So it's kind of like Fox is still around in a way, 20th Century Fox, except of course it's Disney now, So
exactly, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, but I think Cameron and Rodriguez, they are definitely wanting to do Alita content. That's for sure. They want it, And if you got James Cameron that wants to do it, and you got Rodriguez, is agreeing, yeah, let's do that.
Exactly, they're legends, man. They can easily Disney marketing that. They'll make plenty of money. It's just a dumb, obvious decision.
Yeah, Just a Fan says that Elon Musk is broke. Well, I don't think he's broke, but I did see something. My brother and I were discussing this today over brunch. that he's now not the first. He's not the richest man in the world anymore. He's like the fourth richest. So he lost a ton of money. So on this whole thing he's been doing lately. But hey, he's still got money. So he's not totally broke, as they would say. But I think this is one of the most positive things, or at least this provides right here the foundation. Poor man's only got $100 billion. He's actually got more than that, I think. But yeah, he's $100 billion. Yeah, I would like to have a tenth of that. So anyway, that's or a hundredth of it,
and fund Alita 2 or 3 with it.
You betcha I'd do it. If I had that kind of money, we'd already be funding it. So, but anyway, I think this is the most important, or not the most important, but it's a pretty damn important part of this. The fact that you got these two that really, really want to do it, and if they weren't serious, they wouldn't do this. They
wouldn't be so public about it if they didn't have something cooking.
Yeah, for sure. Because especially with Avatar 2 coming out like this, they wouldn't want to jump the gun on this and maybe draw the ire of fans by not being truthful about it. I don't think they would, and I think I think we can take them at their word. I think they want to do it. So it's, and they probably still got to convince Disney, but I don't think that's going to be so hard now, I think that's going to be a lot easier than before.
For sure. Avatar 2 is a massive success.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that financially too here in a little while, But anyway, this is a big positive sign. Another positive sign, and this is this one here. Well, not this particular video. I got a different one from Comic Book, but anyway, it's kind of that whole thing where John Landau, he's a pretty important player in this himself, and he's been talking to Robert Rodriguez about it. And he and Cameron have been talking. So because they're kind of partners in crime a lot of times on a lot of these things, and they do stick pretty close together and they want the same thing and all that. But anyway, here's a video.
Like partners. He's made like $7 billion at the box office or something. He's like, surely he's one of the most powerful producer in Hollywood. I think he would be.
Oh yeah, I think so. And it's kind of like El Lamont said at one point. He's there every day on the set. He's doing whatever he can to help.
John's a legend.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
we need to get him on the Alita Army stream.
Well, it'd be nice.
Come on, that'd be so fun.
Oh, it would be fun, wouldn't it? Anyway, here's the video of an interview he did with Comic Book.
Sure. You mentioned Alita. I do have to ask. I was going to save this for the end, but you think you'll ever go back to the world of Alita?
I hope we will. Robert and I had a conversation about it 2 weeks ago. We're very excited about that prospect. Alita is a movie that even now, having recently rewatched it we're really proud of that movie. And we think that there are more stories to tell with her character, and that's why we want to go back to it.
Interesting. Well, I hope so. I know there's a huge army of fans for that one.
I know. I love Alita Army. Yeah. Way to go. Keep it up. Can I tell you a funny story? I went back to Los Angeles. I've been in New Zealand for quite some time, and I went back to Los Angeles over the summer. And the day I was there, the first day back, I opened the Los Angeles Times, and there's an ad from the Alita Army in color. And I was like, there you go. Thank you. Keep it up.
They're fighting the good fight for you. I love it. Yeah, that's a cool group of people, man. Now,
that's the best clip.
Yeah, it is. Oh, man. And that's
always makes me laugh every time I see it. It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, John Landau, of course, he's been the most, at least the public with his support of us, of the three of them, Cameron, Rodriguez, and him. He's kind of been out there. He's the one that called us the avocados, as Finn would say, of the Alita, of Alita. Hey, Chaos, how's it going?
Pretty well.
Cool. How's things going? How's things going there in Mentor, Ohio?
Storm's over. I had a little time to pick up, debris and all that nonsense. But
you guys kind of like had a blizzard, didn't you, or something?
We
like
did.
That?
The worst of it was in New York, was in Buffalo, New York. But the part that was in Ohio up to near Canada, there was literally like a massive cars being like crash from a whiteout. It was crazy. I don't find more pictures of that. I mean, I was obviously doing the right thing and staying inside for that, but on the highway, on the interstate, there was a massive crash.
Yeah. In case for some of you that don't know, the interstate is the same as motorway. In England.
It's a federal built highway going between different states.
Yeah, that's
but on the interstate running through Ohio, there's a crosswind so powerful that cars crashed and people couldn't see much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like when we say Interstate 10 or Interstate 70. That's like saying in England the M1. Or the M6, or something like that. Yeah, that's right. So, but anyway, we have that kind of a situation here too. The creek definitely doesn't like driving in snow. Now, that doesn't mean I don't do it, but man, you have to really be careful driving in snow. We do get some pretty decent snow here too, in Colorado, of course, Just a Fan says he was just in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's kind of a ways from where you are, but it's still in Ohio, isn't it? Just a Fan. I mean, no.
It's some ways a little distant from where I am because I'm close to where Canada is. But the storm. That's the whole overall winter storm was a cold front, but it was so massive. It was from north to south. This front was hundreds, almost 1,000 miles.
Yeah,
so it covered a pretty huge area with hurricane force winds below freezing. It's been warm here after the storm, after Christmas week, but it's starting to chill right now today. Sky darkening, and maybe it's going to snow tonight. I'll find out.
Yeah, it's I don't mind snow that much, but it's not fun to drive in. Kind of cuts into my walks too every day. Although I do go to the mall and walk.
Well, at least a shovel. I still use a shovel. If I get forced to, I'll use the blower, but I shovel.
Yeah. Just a Fan. We're going to talk about the money here, not in the too distant future. In the next few slides, we'll talk about the money. That's for sure, because that's pretty important.
Money.
Wow, I didn't know you knew.
Isn't that a song, right? It just came to my head. Right. It's constantly on my mind. I'm just constantly thinking about Avatar's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they filmed them all together.
Alita's money.
You just have to do
exactly, which is Alita's money by proxy.
Yeah, I think Avatar 3, if I'm not mistaken, I looked this up on IMDb the other day. That thing's in the can in terms of the video, but
it's similar. Well, I think it's similar to what Warner Brothers did with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was all 3 films done in 18 months, but the editing for each separate one meant there was one release per year.
Yeah, Avatar 3, I think is still it's in post, I think, but I think Avatar.
It's got 2 years of post production left, so it's plenty of time.
It's
already shot it.
Yeah, they're on target, I think, but there's an Avatar 4 and a 5, so we got some avatars coming at us, which I think
so many avatars.
You betcha.
We gotta get at least one Alita, Cameron.
Yeah, well, we're getting there on that one. We're getting there. So anyway, but yeah, Mikey, we got a bunch of positive stuff, going on in that regard. They've got, a lot of stuff shot. They've got a lot of stuff edited. They're still in post on 3, but they're going to make that December of December of 2024, I think is when that thing's going to come out. And they got plenty of time to edit that stuff. So that, I think that's probably going to be a big plus right there, So
I reckon that will come out at the right date, but then the 2 after might get delayed a bit.
Yeah, we need to start tweeting Cameron and Rodriguez and say we want El Lamont and Jesse Fisher to come back in Alita 2. That's what we want.
Oh shit! Yeah, we better do that.
I'm going to do that because
and everyone else.
Yeah, that's right.
Selena Leon.
Yeah, Selena
Jessie
Leon.
got the cosplay suit I sent her, by the way. So she's going to do the Alita splits for us too.
Ooh, I hope you put that on. You're going to put that on your website, I hope. Or
How's it go again, Creaky?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's one of my celebrity crushes right there. But you're going to put that on your YouTube channel, aren't you, Lottie, when you get it?
I assume she'll just post it on Instagram.
Ah, okay. Well, I think you ought to put it on YouTube too, but that's just me, you know.
I don't know. She can take whatever pic she wants. I don't know if she's doing a video as well.
Well, if she just does a pic, you know.
She said she was going to find a good location for it.
Nice.
So we're just waiting for that. Hopefully she doesn't forget.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, that's kind of a plus right there, kind of a positive sign right there that, you know, we got now we got Cameron, Rodriguez, and Landau. They all want to do an Alita sequel, all of them. And Rodriguez also wants to do a series. So, you know, we got some irons in the fire, as they would say, on that one. And then,
the Holy Trinity is all on board.
Well,
and then of course we have God, Rosa herself.
Yeah. Our queen, Our Lady Rosa, you know, she definitely wants to do it. Now we've seen this video a couple of times, but I want to still go ahead and play it because it kind of gives us all warm and fuzzy about our queen.
Exactly.
So anyway, here she is at WonderCon in Austin, Texas. I think it was Austin, Texas, back in, I believe it was either March or April. I'm not sure which, but anyway, here she is.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. And it's like very rare for actors to be, I mean, not rare, we all love to smell our own farts, but like it's rare for us to be looking at something that we did going like, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This
like,
is
so
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so proud and I'm glad this is out there. I haven't said that about all my stuff. Yeah. Y'all know my resume.
I love Alita.
I mean, I have said that about Alita. Alita Army. What's up, Army?
Robert Rodriguez is currently working on Book of Boba Fett on Disney+. There's a rumor out there that if that went well, he was going to pitch an Alita series to Disney+. Have you heard anything about that? and have you even spoken to Robert since that first film about moving forward?
Yeah, I harass them all the time. Like it might become a legal issue soon. When I was I email with James Cameron a lot where I'm just like, how are you? And like, how are the avatars? And like Alita. Yeah. And he's always like, I'm so down, which is crazy to hear someone like James Cameron be like, I'm so down. Yeah. And when we were in South by Southwest, I went over to Robert's house and had tea and was just talking about Alita. And we, all three of us, has so much love for Alita. It's never outside of our line of vision ever. Everything we do, we're just sort of like, how do we get back there? I mean, we all three of us took jobs with Disney. I made like a little show. They're doing Star Wars and Avatars. It's the same. But we're trying like hell. We're trying like hell to get her back out there because we know how much, just like this, her story means so much to women, to young girls, to boys, to everybody. I mean, I think she represents something that transcends race, gender, all of that. So we're working on it, man.
I'm super
working on it.
I'm happy to hear that.
So anyway,
I love the way in the first clip with the interviewer lady, the way the interviewer lady brings up Alita. Like, I love you in Alita. It's pretty nice. I like the way she says it as well.
Well, I like that. You know, she calls us out by name, Alita Army.
Exactly.
And then she says,
just
what's
like
up,
Landau.
That's right.
We're all totally in the same fight.
Well, you know, I mean, even, you know, before that question she got from Jeff, I can't remember his last name in Cinema Blend, you know, that what's up Army. Alita, geez, I do this every time. Rosa knows, she knows who we are. I mean, it would not surprise me if Rosa had not seen many of our videos that we put up on our various YouTube channels. It would surprise me greatly if she hadn't seen many of them, you know. So, and that, you know, she knows that we are, you know, that we are dedicated, you know, followers, and we're her supporter and all that kind of stuff, you know. So Just a Fan says what he expects will happen is that, you know, we'll get Avatar 3, then Alita 2, then Avatar 4, then Alita 3. Oh, I hope we get Alita 3. I really want to. But
something to look forward to every year that was actually good.
Yeah, that would be
Another
about the
like
right.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, that would be about the right time frame, because if they come out with a Avatar 3 in December of 2024, then that would give them enough time to shoot Alita 2, and
Get
come
that
out
in 2025.
Yeah, in 2025, or at least say maybe not in late spring, early summer, but probably late summer to early fall. Maybe we might get an Alita 3, and so forth, or Alita 2. I'm sorry, and then Alita 3 would be about 2, maybe 3 years after that, because it takes time to put all this stuff together, and
exactly.
write the script. And I hope they get Leda Kalogridis to help write that script too, because she's into it as well,
Bring the
And
whole band back together.
Oh yeah, and she's a great she's a great screenwriter, I think, Leda Kalogridis, and certainly she was nice to us on that one that video, or not video, that interview we did with her, so but anyway, yeah, I think I think that would be, it might be a little aggressive, say summer of 2025 might be a little aggressive, because if they're going to do that, they're going to have to start shooting this year, I think, because it takes a while to get through post, when you get all that CGI and all that stuff into it, plus they got to get all the actors, back in line, because they're all doing different projects and stuff like that. And it's going to be a scheduling issue as well, so, but yeah, I think it could happen in 2025, the actual movie itself, Alita 3, Alita Fallen Angel.
Plausible.
Yeah, it does, it does.
Might take longer though.
And the creek won't be too old at that point.
Exactly.
The creek's immortal, so age is just a
doesn't
number.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't.
As long as you keep
matter,
lifting, you'll live forever.
Well, this will give
That's
me
a
some
secret.
energy too. It'll give me a lot of energy
Yeah.
to see this. And of course,
Just a couple of things to expand on. One, when Rosa was talking about actors being proud of their own work, to expand on that, not many actors can claim to have fandoms specifically about them or characters that they've portrayed, and like it's like Alita's hit 2 nails with just one swing of the hammer, in the context that, like, yes, the Alita army is like loves all her work, and yes, it's about the one character that's, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's her breakout role. I mean, that's what put her on the mainstream map, because prior to that, she was like maybe like a few supporting roles here or there, like some leading roles, but in minor films. At least
it's one reason why we want to fight for justice for it, because she deserved it. She deserved a lot better for what she made in that film.
Yes,
she deserves
yeah.
better. Alita deserves better.
Same,
Weta
yeah.
deserves better. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Academy. Punch him in the face.
All right. Relax. Just think
Hey,
of Rosa.
when Alita 2 does come
Stay
out,
positive on Rosa.
we start hitting the Academy with tweets saying, "Hey, you SOBs, don't let this get by. You need to consider this. And just really tweet the hell out of them. And make them cave in."
I don't think they'll snub her twice. I don't think we've got to worry about that.
Yeah, I hope not. Because gosh, I mean, the special effects in Alita were great, man. God Almighty, they were good.
They're insane.
Yeah.
She looks real. It's nuts. And she's like a human. And she's like got the best performance through the motion capture. It's so weird to me. So many journalists, they just don't seem to get the artistic value of motion capture. They think Cameron's just wasting his time. But you can make characters and worlds and stuff like this, and it's just insanely cool. I don't know why they've lost that excitement for cinema. I think most of the media and a lot of the industry have just completely lost.
A lot of it comes down to plot. You give me some of the work, some very terrible hand-drawn animation, but if the plot has some interest for me, I don't really care. Same thing with
Yeah.
CGI. Give me a good plot. I really don't care that it's CGI. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the big things that happens on the internet is people want to nitpick. Okay, this is CGI. It's bad. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me, if the plot is terrible, CGI is not going to save it, and the other inverse is true as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, I've heard some folks say the plot in Alita is not that great, but I disagree. I think the plot is about her journey. I mean, it's not, you know, what you would think of it like for other films. Plots can vary greatly, you know, from film
I'm
to
so
film.
glad there wasn't like a big long chase where they had to find a MacGuffin to like kill the big bad. It was just about her like emotional introduction to the world, and I think they gave
Yeah.
her a really great arc for that. It was so like intense as well. I think it was a perfect way to introduce a character.
Well, what gets me is sometimes critics will say a movie has got great plot, and then you'll have in it maybe 2 or 3 car chases in there that each last 5 minutes. I mean, come on, guys. You know, a car chase, seriously, you know, or something similar to that, you know, whereas Alita didn't have that.
They're
You know,
good car chases, you know.
Well, they had motorball chase and stuff like
exactly.
that.
Maybe, they were some of like the best action ever.
Yeah, but it was to me it was interesting. So
yeah, and it wasn't like the focus. People say there was too much motorball, but it wasn't like the focus of it. The focus of it was Alita and what happens to her with Hugo.
Yeah,
she drops motorball like a hat as soon as Hugo's in danger.
Yeah, that's right. She left that track quick, didn't she? When her protective instinct, you know, kicked in, man, it was like, you know, nothing's going to stop me. And of course, we know our girl, nothing's going to stop her. So,
she likes the action. She likes the action, but what's more important to her is, you know, the emotion, which is kind of like why we love the movie.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, and it's got a wide range of emotions in it, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Through her, you go through like all the emotions, basically.
Yeah, it's got everything from exciting action to just downright sad.
It's like a celebration of humanity in cinema through like technology, like visual effects.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Another thing, you know, that they definitely had sequels planned even before Alita 1 is the for lack of a better term, the quote unquote boss fights, because you go from the alleyway fight versus Gruishka, which was, you know, short and, you know, feeling each other out, gauging the range is what boxers would call it. And then the underworld fight scene where, you know, Gruishka comes back with the upgrade and completely demolishes Alita, and then she comes back in the berserker body and does pretty much the same back to Gruishka with the upgrade.
The whole second hour is just like either pure catharsis or tragedy. It's just because now she's got the body, she has all that kind of those moments where like that were teased earlier on in the film, but now she's got the body. It's completely different, and she can just own it. But then there's also the tragedy element too, and it's just been so intense that last hour.
And also touching on the aspects that I think one of you guys, I forget who, sorry, it might have been Vladdy, touched on the like the build up of a typical movie. That wasn't the build up to a typical movie, because, you know, usually you get through the minions to get to the final boss at the end.
Yeah.
There essentially was no final boss. Like, you know, the dragon wasn't slain, the mission wasn't complete. And like, you know, and she dispatched Gruishka in seconds.
Yeah, because it's a longer story than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, what I liked about it too was that, you know, for a good bit of the movie, you know, I like the diversion here is where, you know, you thought maybe Gruishka was the final boss or maybe even Vector, you know, and you get to the end and it's not Vector or Gruishka, it's Nova, you know, and you kind of get hints of that in a couple of places, but, you know, it's like they kind of diverted your attention, you know, to Gruishka and Vector, and then at the very end you find out it's Nova, you know. So that I liked that aspect of it too. That was pretty neat, you know.
I've got a question for you guys. I'll put it forward and you guys can say your piece. But Talking specifically about fan bases, one thing that comes to mind, and this is quite an old movie, some might or might not remember it, The Crow. That
Yes.
got
it's pretty iconic with the guy. Yeah, didn't the guy die or something?
yeah, and like in that became cult status like long after the movie came on. And I know there's a few other examples, more recent ones being the Carl Urban's Judge Dredd, for example.
Yeah.
You know, that's like garnered cult status long after its release. But this one was like, you know, practically the moment that the haters decided to lock on their sights. It's like, you know, the Alita army rose up and started firing off flares, and then it really was a dogfight, using Maverick terms here, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And like, and we've stuck around for 3 years. Like, it's got cult status and it's had the fan base from day one. Not again, similar to what we were discussing about with Alita. No, I'm doing it. When Rosa was talking about, you know, like these unique experiences in filming. Like, it's something that not many films can claim to have, but Alita does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I agree. I mean, when you look at films like Rocky Horror Picture Show, now that thing's been around
Oh yeah,
for 40 plus years, and its fan
another
base
great example.
is still strong. You know, and I see the Alita Army like that. You know, because I think, you know, we, you know, partially, of course, because the internet, you know, we all got to know each other over the internet. But I mean, you know, I mean, we all love this movie and this character so much, you know, and we all have this in common. I think that binds us all together, regardless of our political or religious beliefs or anything like that. You know, and it's, as I've said before, it's kind of like the Alita Army is actually an extended family. You know, I think, you know, that since we all have that in common, you know, it kind of links us, I think, you know. And yeah, you're right, Just Fan. The Alita Army is a special fan group for sure. And, you know, one of the things that Maxie brings out many times is that, you know, that the Alita Army is, and he says this a lot, but it's the most positive fandom on the internet. And, you know, that's actually true. You know, I mean, you know, I can't remember a single time when there's been so much bad blood. Not to say we don't have disagreements, we do, but because any family would, you know, but, you know, to the point to where it kind of rips fandoms apart. You know, I mean, because you know, there are examples of fandoms that get, you know, ripped apart, or at least they get damaged to the point to where it's not fun being in the fandom and stuff like that anymore. You know,
Fandom menace.
I'm sorry.
Cough, cough. Fandom menace. Cough, cough.
Oh my God. Yeah. And certainly we have enough dad jokes in the Alita Army, especially with Maxie in there. But anyway, but and Angelus looks like he's not a dad, but he's coming up with some of them himself. But it's kind of like the Star Trek fandom, you know. I mean, you know, a lot of folks, you know, they kind of didn't like some of the later movies, you know, whether or not you agree with them or not, whether you like them is one thing, you know, but the fandom itself should actually stay together. The same could be said for the Star Wars, you know, fandom, because, you know, some of the later movies that come out, boy, really got some negative stuff behind it, you know, but I don't see that with us. You know, I really don't. You know, I don't.
We try to stay focused on the movie. We don't get involved in like culture war stuff.
Oh, exactly.
Well, in all fairness, you only had one movie live action.
That's true. That's true. You know,
I'm willing to say that the challenge is if there ever was another one after that. So on.
Yeah. And we just were joined by Lee from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Not too bad. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Yeah, I read your 4th chapter, by the way.
Oh, how'd you like it?
Oh, I liked it a lot. You know,
okay.
Without too many spoilers, I like the way Jason, you know, went after that total replacement cyborg, But Benny would say, "Oh, that's pretty stupid what he did there," you know. But yeah, I enjoyed that a lot, you know. So I guess in chapter 5 is when I'm really going to see, you know, him meet Alita. I guess is when it.
Well, he should have actually done that in chapter. Let me check real quick here.
No, I don't think he did. I think he saw her he saw her on the you know, big screens or on the TVs, you know, or something like that. And I know Loretta. Now I don't want to spoil too much. We're getting off topic, but you know, Loretta.
Oh, I think I see what's going on there. You're counting the introduction as the first chapter. I was going with the
Oh, I got you. Okay, well, be that as it may, I'm going to see him meet Alita, you know, in the next.
So yeah, you're on the part where he faced off against that guy who was going to murder that guy in the street, trying to do something to save the guy because he didn't want to, you know, see him get killed.
I left you a note too by there, you know, about maybe the timing or the times, stuff like that. One thing, and I don't want to get too far away from our subject here, but one thing it did occur to me is that there was a hunter warrior that was observing this fight, you know. To me, the immediate reaction I got is, oh, that's Japan.
Oh, no, it wasn't actually supposed to be Japan. I was just trying to like describe like a what's the word? Like an average hunter warrior. It's like he had a little bit of armor, had a few melee weapons on him, just some guy who's, you know, kitted up to go after somebody if he has to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it could have been like that guy that was sitting at the bar behind Alita in the Kansas bar. It could have been him then, maybe.
Yeah, it could have been any of the ones in the Kansas bar.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, getting back to this, I guess, well, you know, just wanted to kind of, you know, at the end of this thing here, but this particular slide, it's like, you know, we got some heavy hitters that want to do this sequel. They definitely want to do it. And one of them even wants to do a series. So there's some big pluses there for that. I mean, when you got that's kind of almost the foundational part of this.
Yeah, they're definitely going to pitch it soon.
Yeah. Now
there's a new Cameron interview, by the way, I think. You know, he just did one with, I think, Kim Masters. He mentioned Alita in this. I think there's going to be articles filtering out about it.
Oh, okay. So we'll keep.
I send a link or something. He
or
says,
you could pull it up, or you want to send me a link and I can play it. So
I'll send you a link
in the private chat.
Can I send it in Twitter?
Oh, well, you could, but you could put it in a private chat too, or you could put
just
it.
because I'm on my tablet on that, and I'm on my PC.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you.
So I have to send the link over to my tablet.
Yeah, send me a DM. That'll be fine. You know.
There you go.
Okay, let's.
So he says he wants to revisit the IP.
Yeah, let's see. I don't have it yet.
I think it's a new quote. Anyway, I don't recognize that.
There it is. Okay, let me click on this, and then I'll share it.
So he says, it didn't quite make enough money to make everybody grinning from ear to ear, but we may revisit that IP. We hope to anyway. So he's obviously got plans to get back into it, hopefully.
Well, let's see. Let's pull that guy up.
And he also says, where is it? Does he have more ideas to expand on the world of Alita? Absolutely. And then he says, I've always written more than we can conceivably pack into the box of a conventional movie. So he was saying that he might want to make something longer. I don't like all the interesting character development and interesting scenes getting chopped out either at the scripting stage or the post stage. So he's talking about like having like really long cuts. Remember he mentioned the long streaming cut idea?
Yeah.
I hope he's got that planning for Alita, and we'll get loads of like long scenes of just Alita doing something. I don't know.
Well, it could be too.
Playing the violin or something.
Well, he could actually do like 2 arcs where he could do the Motorball arc and the Japan arc. He could do that in one movie, possibly. You know, if he makes it 3 hours plus, he could do it. Now, if I don't want to satisfy, I mean, I don't want to, you know, compromise rather quality, you know, just for sake of a long movie. So, you know, what we might get too is one arc of Alita playing Motorball against Joshigan, and then Alita 3 would be the Zapan arc or Zerkerpan arc. That would be kind of cool, I think, if he did that too. But anyway, we in Cameron we trust, as they would say. So
make it bigger.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to see a 3-hour Alita movie. 3-hour Alita movie. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, indeed. That would be
5-hour movie on streaming version. 3 hours in cinema, 5 hours on streaming.
Excuse me.
I could live
More
with that.
Alita Battle Angel, while not a fan favorite, smash.
Just ignore that.
Yeah,
Where do you see
I'd
that?
block that out. I've got to manage to disassociate some things like that, and you just brought it back by reading it out. Danny Angelis.
Well, not
No,
a fan
it's a
favorite.
fan favorite. Really?
Seriously?
Do you think that's a typo? Do you think they meant to write Alita Battle Angel a fan favorite, and they accidentally wrote not a fan favorite?
Well, whoever Ned Booth that's who wrote this.
Little
Obviously
troll.
doesn't. Oh, no, I don't know if he's a troll, but he probably doesn't realize, or he may not realize, that Alita has a whole army behind her. So yeah, it is a fan favorite. So. But he is right about this. It does set up.
I mean, I hate to bring it back up like Bloody said.
It's a perfect franchise starter. Disney is so ridiculous to not greenlight anything yet.
They're contradictory terms for starters. I mean, while not a fan favorite, I mean, do you see the oxymoron in that statement right there, Mr. Booth?
The media's weird tricks.
Yeah, who could go figure, as they say. Yeah, go figure. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. So there you have it. But
and it's not wholly negative either. So I guess we should be somewhat grateful for that too.
Yeah, I mean, it is mostly positive. So we'll cut him some slack a little bit, but maybe need to print a little bit of a correction on that one. There's a whole army.
He needs to stop being a troll.
I don't think he's a troll.
He was clearly trying to troll the fans there.
Possibly, but I don't know.
99%.
All right. Well, that's that Bloody says he's a troll. So we'll.
But yeah, pretty much everyone.
Even if not intentionally, that seemed like a little bit of trolling there.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. Yeah. So
it's known for its fervent fan support. So it's obviously just he can't be sincere.
Well, it's
just another troll journalist. I'm afraid there's plenty of them about.
Well, it's why Rosa and Landau they do shout outs to us. I mean, they do.
Exactly.
I mean, it can't be a bad fan base if they're doing shout outs. I mean, seriously, or a small fan base at least. So, oh, well, we'll cut him some slack since there was a lot of positivity there. So, but not a lot. We're not going to cut him a lot of slack. As they would say. So, yeah.
I wasn't going to give him a second thought.
Okay. But as good as it is to have Cameron, Rodriguez, Landau, and Rosa behind us, that is not quite enough by itself for us to get a sequel or a series. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. What's really going to help pull it over the finish line? This will get us. Now, I don't know how many of you know American football or not, but these three are taking us to the 10-yard line before we get a touchdown. Okay. So anyway, after that, the movie has got to be good. Now, one of the things that's positive about this that that Disney can draw the conclusion that since there is an army behind the film and Avatar 2 was a success, and it still is a success. I don't mean to use the word was like past tense. That sucker is still kicking, boy.
Still going up.
And we are, we're going to see that in a little bit for the financial part.
Home straight to 2 billion.
But what this does do is it does give credibility to Cameron that that he can put together a big blockbuster, like this. Because let's face it, one of the things hopefully they'll consider is that when Alita came out, the marketing wasn't so good on that.
It's practically non-existent, I think.
Well, that I was trying to be kind.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the fact that the thought was to try to keep the, I guess, intrinsic value of the IP kind of low because they were in the process of buying the company, Fox, and all that kind of stuff.
It's an interesting theory.
Yeah, that they probably, that's one reason they didn't kind of push it harder and stuff like that. But as you can see there, we just lost who did we lose? Chaos. Yeah. But anyway, definitely, I think Avatar 2 is going to hit $2 billion. I agree with that, Just Fan. That's for
great.
sure. Yeah, I
think fantastic. Are we getting to that still? You've been building up to it a lot.
Well, who knows how far this sucker is going to go, because I got a slide coming up on that. But
we're getting
clearly,
to the slide. Okay.
More important than the critics liking the movie, which 77% might seem a little low to some folks, but
it's ridiculous. Some of them definitely tried to sabotage it, like they did with Alita.
Yeah,
that's why it's not in like the 90s where it should be.
Well, I think originally, I believe one of the scores I saw on the tomato meter was 72%. Now it's come up a little bit. Sometimes they get influenced by the audience score. To me, the most important score is the audience score. Because you can have a great critic score, and if your audience score is 20, you're not going to make money. End of discussion.
Yeah.
You're just not. So the critics, to me,
always 92. Always settles on 92. So weird.
Well, that's
isn't Alita's 92 as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And it never moves. I bet this never moves from 92. Rotten Tomatoes is so sus.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
like, how does it never move?
We'll see.
As much as I'm actually quite looking forward to being a horror aficionado myself, like I do love my horror movies. It's second place to Cyberpunk, and no one's moving that out of second place. But I'm very much looking forward to Megan coming out, and I'm sorry, but as much of a horror aficionado that I am, there's no way that Avatar should be at 77% when Megan's at 90 freaking plus.
Yeah, that totally perplexed me. I didn't expect a film like that to get such a high critic score.
Yeah.
The latest trailer made it seem like a really dumb comedy.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I don't give a shit about the tomato meter. I really don't. I don't give a flying.
I'm just curious about it. How these people behave. What's their trends?
Well, I don't give a flying fuck about the tomato meter, to be sure. To be
why are we on
about it? Well, I like the audience score is the one I think is the most important. People like the movie. That's the main thing.
That's
people
why it's going to make $2 billion.
Yes. Well, think about it. You got movies that have a higher tomato meter than Avatar that didn't make $1.5 billion in just 3 weeks. So seriously, think about it. To me that number is almost meaningless.
And I have to say, regardless of how much profit it made, how much production it cost, the fact that so many people watched it so often that it made that much money in the first place, and you're telling me only 77% of critics would recommend, you lose brain cells just trying to comprehend it.
Well, it's like with Alita. Originally, Alita's critic score was like 32% or something like that.
Debuted at 33%. Absolutely scandalous.
Now it's 61%. It's like they were swayed by the audience score.
There would have been it would have been too obvious that the film was completely stabbed in the back by critics if they left it with the green splat.
Well, I think
they had to just make it sure it was just above 60. Or else it would have been what? How do you give a masterpiece 33%?
Well,
something fishy about critics going on, but they managed to save face a tiny bit.
Well, one thing that might be coming into play here on some of this, on the tomato meter or the critics, is that there may be some kind of inherent bias against CGI type characters like this.
Yeah, that's another problem.
I think Leda Calligridis alluded to that, because Andy Serkis, he's done a lot of great stuff, and yet he doesn't get his just respect. I think he kind of does, but I mean, he's a good actor. You know what I'm saying?
He gets more respect than Rosa. There was a movie web or some shitty website that does like lists and stuff. They did a best CGI characters of all time, and Alita wasn't even on it, but obviously Andy Serkis was on it a bunch of times.
Yeah, Justin
So
Fan
Rosa
says,
Salazar should obviously be on those kind of lists.
Justin Fan says, tell us what you really think, Creaky.
Andy Serkis is to Rosa Salazar in terms of mocap is what Maverick is to Avatar 2.
Yeah.
It's like passing along the torch. It's not a matter of one beating out the other. It's like progression in cinema, progression in mocap. Like, I just want to punch people in the face. I want to rip their arms off and beat them with the wet end.
Well, Jeff or Künstler 99 has a good point here. They didn't do that to Endgame because Thanos was actually totally a CGI character. I mean, seriously, Jeff Brolin isn't blue, he's just not, or purple blue or whatever he is, and they don't seem to do that. And I wonder if there's some politics going on there too, but that's a good point, Jeff. A very good point indeed, So it's like they get their little, predilections going and they just kind of run with it, So, but look at that creature right there that's on the, on the website there. I mean, it's believable that that's an extraterrestrial being. Granted, this is all fantasy, science fiction, stuff like that, but that being right there looks real. And if you,
it doesn't feel like you're watching CGI if you just relax into it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Especially with the 3D, that like opens it up as well.
It is believable that these creatures are living on a moon orbiting Alpha Centauri.
Exactly.
It's
who knows? Maybe it's really happening right now.
Yeah.
It's believable.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like CGI, period. Yeah. Like some of them, and I can't morally support a film that costs $400 million to make.
Madness.
That's what's mad about it. We're going to get to the money. I promise. We're going to get to it and keep that 400 million in your back of your minds because we're going to chat about that.
Money, 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 money.
Yes. And of course, just to remind some of these people that Avatar 1 is the highest grossing movie of all time. $2.9 billion. Holy crap.
Soon to be joined in the top 5.
That's right.
Avatar 2.
That's right. But bottom line is, even with that piss poor tomato meter score, the audience score being 92, that thing is a good movie.
Yeah.
It is, I went to see that movie on Sunday night or last weekend, and God, it knocked my head off. It
was amazing. I'm waiting to see it again in the same cinema I saw Cameron in. It's just like Dolby. It's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, I saw it in 3D.
Yeah, that's the 3D too, the Dolby.
Yeah, man. Holy crap. It's unbelievable.
It looks insane.
Well, the underwater scenes particularly. Holy crap,
Gorgeous.
Yes, So it's a super movie. So what this does, though, and getting back to Alita, is the quality of the movie, the cinematography and the CGI, the plot was excellent. How they developed the various characters, Now, of course, Jake Sully and Natiri and so forth, they didn't have to be developed too much, except for the fact that now they're a family. So they
had to introduce a whole new family, basically.
Yeah, they had to develop that. But, the way they did... what's his name? Quaritch, Colonel Quaritch.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'd heard that.
Yeah, that was believable too.
Yeah,
because they had the technology with the, the avatars to do that kind of thing. So why not?
Yeah, and just Fan says, he was blown away by it, and he's going to go see it again. So
Same.
yeah, I am too. I'm going to go see that.
I think a lot of people are going to be like that, and now the holiday period's over. They're going to start going to see it, even for a second time. So it should be good for its legs, hopefully, but you never know.
Well, I think the Avatar 2 is going to be in theaters here, you know, near where I live, for a couple of months at least, I think, you know, because I went, it was like 2 weeks after it'd been out, and that sucker, that theater still had a ton of people in it. So yeah, that's also a cool thing how they did the kids. You know, we got a slide coming up on that. The kids were kind of a main part of the story. I really liked that a lot, you know. But we're going to get to that too a little bit about kids. You know, it's kind of interesting how they did that as well, you know, in terms of one character, which we're going to bring that up. So, but just to re-emphasize, this gives Cameron credibility to be able to put together a great movie using CGI-based characters.
Mm-hmm.
This is really going to be a selling point, I think, if he goes to Disney and say, "Look, I can do this again, and I can make you some money with Alita."
He's obviously in a much stronger position now from a negotiating standpoint.
Now, had he put this out and it flopped, yeah, that would have been a big problem. I didn't ever think it was going to flop. After I saw the trailer, I said, "Holy crap, I got to go see this movie." I definitely do, you know. I would have gone to see it as soon as it came out if it hadn't been for my dog being, you know, in the shape he was in. But yeah, what, you know, like last weekend, man, I mean, that movie blew my head off. I mean, it was, you know, freaking unbelievable. So
awesome.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Now, this is the thing that's the big deal right here. In 3 weeks worldwide, this movie made $1.5 billion in 3 weeks. Holy crap. You know,
I've got a meme I want you to show.
Yeah, oh, I will. But that's $500 million a week. There are
crazy money.
Tons of movies that don't make $500 million, you know, in their entire the entire time, you know.
It's in the top 10 of all time now.
Yeah.
Already after 3 weeks.
Well, the thing of it is, you remember I told you to remember that $400 million thing. Just think about it. To make now, granted, you got to factor in, you know, marketing and stuff like that, which is another 50% roughly. But think about it. In 3 weeks, this movie made netted a net of $1 billion in 3 weeks. A net. Holy crap. That is unbelievable.
Yeah. Go on the meme I sent you.
So, okay, let me go pull that up. Okay, let's see what we got here.
So people are saying 2 billion is like definitely is like a lock now.
Yeah, let me
it's just overtaken Top Gun. Are you getting to the slide next?
Yeah, I'm going to, but let me pull this.
You might as well, if we're going to that topic now.
Well, I just wanted to show that what you sent me. Yeah, that guy there, he had a pretty small part in the Avatar.
Yeah, he needs to come back more in the sequel.
Yeah, I like this guy. He's a good actor. I like that guy.
Yeah, look at all that cheddar, and Avatar's just gone to #1.
Yes.
Oh, I like
so
that tweet.
It's interesting that it's made double what Black Panther Wakanda Forever made in its whole run, although it's still going.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to make double Doctor Strange's total. Yeah. So that shows like it's not just Marvel that can get those kind of numbers. Disney have got a franchise that they can you know get more money from.
Yeah,
because MCU's got a bit stale.
Yeah,
they seem to think they can bring it back with the new like Secret Wars team up thing, but I'm thinking they won't be able to get the same kind of hype.
Who knows? You know, but anyway, yeah, Avatar: Way of Water. Look at that, 3 weeks. I mean, how long has Top Gun Maverick been out? A couple of months, isn't it?
8 months and months and months.
Yeah, and Avatar in 3 weeks has passed it. So
exactly,
really,
in no time.
Yeah, so like I say, it's netted $1 billion in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it didn't have the same like. Endgame had like a 1 billion opening weekend because like everyone's rushing out because people are going to spoil it because they've got like, you know, annoying fans.
Yeah.
But Avatar 2 didn't really have that because it's not that kind of story where they're teasing like cameos and stuff like that. It's just they're just actually telling a real story, kind of like Top Gun Maverick as a sequel. I love that they're the top two now. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, Black Panther's a sequel for sure, and so is Doctor Strange. They're sequels.
Yeah, and they've done.
I don't think you could call the Batman a sequel, although I guess it's considered part of the DCU. But
it's just another Batman movie. That's all I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And Thor: Love and Thunder is a sequel, but look, it's blowing away all these sequels.
And these are like the tentpole Marvel movies, so you'd think they'd be doing the top numbers.
Yeah. I mean, holy crap! I mean,
but there's Avatar miles ahead.
Yeah, and it's only been 3 weeks. That's the thing I can't stop wrapping my head around.
Exactly.
All these movies that have been out for months, and in 3 weeks, Avatar has bolted right past them.
Exactly, and there's no real competition in the cinema.
Yeah,
not real competition until like February.
So there you have it, right there, folks. I mean, thing it makes $1.5 billion in 3 weeks and nets over $1 billion in 3 weeks. Holy crap. I mean, Disney has got to look at that and say, holy crap, we just made a bunch of money.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when he's going to talk to them about it.
Yeah.
When's the meeting going to happen where they like confirm it?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that. Maybe Angelus can bring that up in the news tomorrow.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got new stuff, so make sure that interview's on it.
Yeah.
That article's the main one though, because that's pretty juicy.
Yeah, it is. It's very juicy. Yeah. Yeah, normal fighter can karate, and a normal Alita Army fan can Panzer Kunst. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Although Panzer Kunst could be considered a martial art like karate. So, anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, this to me is probably the biggest deal right here. Yes, it's good that Cameron, Rodriguez, Landau, and Rosa are Queen is all behind it and they want to do it. Yes, it's good that the fans love the movie. It's got a high audience score, et cetera, et cetera. But this right here, this is going to get the old codgers off their butts and say, oh, God, I want to make more money. This right here. That's what I think. Thoughts, guys?
Cameron Cash Cow.
Yeah. So anyway, Lee, what do you think about this, about the way Avatar 2 has been able to break in the money?
It certainly looks promising at the very least.
Yeah.
But I still have some doubts about the brain power behind the people in charge of Disney.
Yeah, that's the only worry.
Well,
I could just say no.
To me, this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, if I was the CEO of Disney, I would say, when can we do this?
If you were the CEO of Disney, I think Disney would be in better shape than it's in.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. But, well, we'd certainly have an Alita sequel, wouldn't we? So
oh, yeah.
If I was a CEO.
That's certainly a plus.
Yeah, that's right. But to me, this is a no-brainer. This is the main argument right here. This one. $1.5 billion in 3 weeks. God knows what it's going to be in 3 months. I mean, holy crap. Who knows?
Yep.
It may be double this.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it might slow down a bit.
It probably will, but the rate of the money-making machine is probably going to slow down because it does with everything, But if
it should easily get to 2 billion, though.
I think so, and over time, maybe over a 3-month period, which is about 4 times longer than 3 weeks, it might make 3 billion. It might,
Maybe. Let's hope so. That'll be sick.
Yeah. Right now, they've got enough justification right now, just with these numbers right here, and we're only 3 weeks in, that they'll say, okay, yeah, let's do it. Especially since they're going to save money on production cost if they if they go back to Troublemaker Studios, you know, to shoot the the Iron City shots, because they don't have to put any more money into that. I mean, they may have to do a little bit of maintenance. Maybe some things have run down a little bit.
Yeah, but a lot of the assets are already there now, so they shouldn't have to spend nearly as much money.
Yeah, it wouldn't be near.
Also, the digital assets, Rose's
digital assets,
puppet.
physical assets, everything.
Yeah, it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they want to spend money to avoid taxes. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, I know how my feeling is about that. I don't mind paying taxes as long as I make money.
Yep.
You know?
Put me down for $99. Say that all the haters, especially if it'll crack 2 billion, but it won't crack Avatar 1. That the haters will go, oh, it didn't beat the first one, so Cameron's sequel stigma is over, and all this other BS.
Yeah.
As I tweeted a while ago, you know, it doesn't matter. He'll be laughing the more while he's cashing in his billions.
Yeah, we have a saying here in the U.S. It's called "laughing all the way to the bank." That's what we have here. Probably that's in Australia too. Oh, look who just joined us. Good day, Maxie.
Maxie.
Hey, Maxie.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
And just in case nobody knows, Maxie is from near Sydney in New South Wales, Australia.
A while ago, he was near Brisbane, Queensland, but
this is not that near. I still had 200 kilometers to go. But
okay, so that's not too bad. What's that? About 130 miles, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, God, you're 130 miles from Sydney, north of Sydney.
No, well,
200 kilometers north of Sydney.
Well, it depends where you're measuring from. If you're measuring from the top of Sydney or you're measuring from the middle of Sydney, because it's not a small town.
No, it isn't. No. Yeah, I went on Google Maps and looked at that thing, Sydney, one time. It is a pretty big town, that's for sure.
Sprawling.
So,
yes.
Yeah, it is.
Considering it's only got 5 million people in it, yeah, it's pretty sprawly.
God almighty, that's a pretty good sized city. That's bigger than Denver. I think Denver, we have like 3 million, I think. Something
it's more
like
expensive to live in Sydney than it is to live in...
Oh, we got another one here. Here's Jeffrey Künstler 99.
How's it going?
We was hoping you'd tell us.
The merch king of Alita Army.
Our Chicago connection, as they would say.
I don't know if I'm the merch king, but...
Yeah.
Well, compared to any of us, you are.
There's a lot of merch kings in the Alita Army.
You're a very unique one, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with you there.
I think I'm more of a merch peasant.
Sadly. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've I guess commissioned, I guess is a good word to use, Künstler 99 to do kind of a little, what would you call it, Mac? Künstler, a little sign for my dog, you know. So I got a little, I've got like a memorial up there in my bar, you know. So
that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still working out the details, but yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's no rush. So anyway, we were Maxie. You missed it, you know, and Angelus will tell you that the Creek has been waxing lyrical about this, particularly on this slide, where some of the haters, not haters or detractors or whatever you want to call these assholes,
they're real quiet now.
I don't want to talk about how good a movie is. It costs $400 million to make. Hello, 1.5 billion in 3 weeks. Now, you got to factor marketing and shit like that and distribution, all that shit in there. But guess what? That's over.
Yeah, they still got it covered.
Yeah, we do. That's $1 billion in 3 weeks, folks, and it's not stopping. So
I still kind of think that was a number that like Disney needed, not Jim. I think Disney needed that number.
Yeah.
Disney needs all the numbers it can get at the moment. They've been struggling.
Right. Yeah. So that's where they're like, we really need to make 1.5. Otherwise other stuff's gonna suffer. And
Well, I think they're going to get 2 eventually. I think here probably within about a month they're going to make 2, and who knows how high this sucker's going to go. You know, we don't know. You know, we just have to wait and see.
I think China's going to be a very slow burn because I think they're limited on how many people can actually go see it, and I think that's going to be very steady. I think it's going to extend and go for a long time in China.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's holding up pretty well because of those reasons. Yeah, but
yep, it's got that's like what Just Fan says. It's got legs. Yeah, it's got good legs. Exactly.
As it's sitting,
big long blue legs.
Yeah.
Why do I think of ZZ Top when you say that?
I was just thinking of that too. I was thinking that ZZ Top.
Hey, I did a ZZ Top that song with an Alita video here not too long ago. So Alita's got legs. It was tasteful though. It was tasteful. So
better be.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Oh, I'm not going to do anything that's going to, denigrate our girl. There's no way. That's my niece too. I can't do that. So. So anyway, I think this is the driving force. The other things are kind of supporting. Cameron, Rodriguez, Landau, our Queen Rosa wanting to do it. The fans loving it, stuff like that. Those are all good. The people love that. Disney's going to love that. But this is really going to get their attention. I don't care if they're brain dead. They're going to see $1.5 billion and they're going to go, holy crap. That's what they're going to say. Give me the money.
Money, money.
Maxie, what did you say that you thought the ultimate gross would be on this? You said that one time. I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, well, I just really didn't know, considering that the goalposts have shifted so much because of COVID.
Yeah.
But, I was more saying that it'll still be in cinemas in 6 months. That's what I was saying. I just think it'll be hanging around forever, squeezing every last shekel out of the public for it before, because we've seen a lot of movies that have lasted in the cinemas 3 weeks and they're on streaming in 5 weeks. It's just they flip so quickly now because they know that the money isn't there in the cinemas anymore. But this one will change things back again, I think.
Yeah, it's like Black Adam. Was like that. I mean, I enjoyed Black Adam. It got a lot of good action and stuff like that. But you're right, that sucker was on streaming in 3 weeks.
It was just like, what? It was in the cinema? There was cinemas? What?
Yeah. When was it in the cinema? Because my brother and I drove by it one day and we said, oh, we want to go see Black Adam. Next thing we knew, it was streaming. So, we didn't get to see it in the cinema,
And I think the way that they're doing that now shows a loss of faith in the cinema going public, in that they just don't think that it's worth leaving it in the cinemas, and they just want to push it through to streaming as quickly as possible and try and make that blip of income as big as they can, just by squeezing it all together, which I can kind of understand because it looks better on their bottom line. But it really just, like, if you don't catch it in the opening week, it's gone. And I don't think that it's doing the cinemas any good, and I don't think it's doing the studios any good. But hopefully Avatar 2 will have changed that mindset a little bit, and they'll go,
I hope so.
Hey, cinema still can make some money if we produce something worth watching.
Yeah, exactly. And we market it.
That'd help.
Yeah, I think David Alexander says he thinks it's going to be $2 billion pretty soon, and who knows? Might even make $3 billion. We'll see. That's going to be a heavy lift, but who knows?
Yeah, I think this is not going to go to streaming for a long time. Like, they're gonna try to milk it as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, see, now one of the things Maxie was saying that kind of troubled me a little bit is when it first came out, and you guys know that my dog, was having some troubles there and toward the end of his life, and I was saying, God, I can't leave him for what's going to amount to 4 hours, because it takes time to get the movie. They play all the damn previews and ads and shit like that, And I said, God, he's struggling. I can't leave him for 4 hours, And I thought, oh shit, I hope it's still in the movies, in a few weeks or something like that, because I had the feeling he probably wasn't going to be around much longer, But God, 3 weeks later, I mean, rather 2 weeks later, I went into the movie, and 90% of that movie was full. I mean, there were people in there, watching this movie. I mean,
all 3 hours of it.
Yes. And it's funny, my brother and I went to see it, and he made the mistake of drinking a bunch of water or whatever he drank, and I didn't.
You've got to plan ahead. You've got to plan ahead.
Oh gosh, and then I remember when I did not touch anything. I had to go, but I said, no, I ain't missing a second of this. It was just awesome.
I did like the earliest showing in the day, like 12 p.m. And when I got up, I just literally hardly drunk anything, maybe like one sip.
Yeah.
And then I was fine. I didn't need to go at all. And I was sipping. I was sipping at a little flask of green tea too as I went, so I wasn't thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like, my wife went with me, and I drink like nothing, and I was able to make it through the entire thing without having to get up.
Yeah, I was impressed with myself.
I was kind of looking for a slow spot, if I could, but there was no slow spot.
No, there wasn't one moment.
That's right.
It's always happening in that movie.
Yeah, I was pleased with myself in that regard too. I didn't. I had to go, but I didn't. I wasn't in dire need.
Yeah.
So it was. Man, I tell you what, I can't say enough about this movie. It's really great. Now it's not better. It's not better to me than Alita. Because Alita has a special place in my heart. But God, this movie's good. I like this movie here better than Endgame or Infinity War. And I love those two movies. I really do. I think they're good.
Haven't
good
seen
story.
either.
But this movie, man, just knocked my head off. And it's like when you look at those characters right there, like I was saying a while ago, it is believable that those are real extraterrestrial beings. I mean, it's believable just looking at them. It was great. So anyway. Here I am, waxing lyrical, as Angelus would say. So
it was an epic movie in every sense of the word.
Yes, it was.
And it made you care about the families, and so now you care more about it going into the sequels. You want to know what happens to them.
Yes.
It's perfect setup. For me, Alita, I definitely feel like Alita's
Avatar 3 is going the Seed Bringer, is that what it's called, or something like that?
Seed Bearer, something like that.
Seed Bearer, something like that. Yeah.
And it's got the Ash Navi or something. They're fire Navi.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool as fuck. There's going to be lots of cool fiery stuff.
Yes.
You know what Cameron's like with that kind of spectacle. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Going to be fire all over the screen coming at you in all kinds of weird shapes. Awa's going to take control of the magma, and it's all going to be cool as shit.
And that's how it's going to hook back into Alita, because fire, plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, actually, plasma is not fire, but okay, it's it is. I guess.
Same sort of, for lack of a better term, formation or presentation.
Yes. Yeah, the Creek can't say enough good about this movie right here, boy. I'm going to go see it again. I definitely am. It's going to be great. I won't be able to do it tomorrow because we've got a Radio Chaos stream coming up. So,
yes,
that's right. So Creek's going to be there for that, but maybe Sunday I'll go and see it again. So anyway, similarities between the two, and here's one that I thought was just obvious when the first.
Yeah, I love Carrie.
Carrie's great. Here's why I think this is one of the reasons I think this is important, is because Carrie and Alita, of course, Alita in her doll body, but Carrie, they're both 14 years old, or that's the kind of persona, that they're irradiating, or whatever you want to whatever you want to say about that. And what's cool about it is both of these characters that are teenagers at this point in the movie will carry throughout the entire movie. Of course, Alita, I think when she gets her berserker body, she's older, you know, but
she's always older. Her body's
yeah, she
younger.
always is, but
300 years older.
Yeah, but her
yeah, but her mental age is like that of a grown woman.
Yeah, that's right. But her appearance and her doll body is that
the
of,
doll
say,
body shape is
it's
it's
like
about
14 to 15 years old, as is with Carrie, who's 14 years
And
old.
the berserker body is a
a young woman,
athletic woman, like 20 years old or something like that.
Yeah, 19 to 20, whatever. Yeah, but here's what's neat about it. Both of these characters are played by adults.
Yeah.
You know, of course, Alita by Rosa Salazar and Kiri, you know, by Sigourney Weaver. So, and
exactly
what that says is with that mocap, it doesn't matter how old you are.
It will give Disney more confidence to do that with Alita when Cameron does Mars Chronicles or something with Alita as played by Rosa and when she's young.
Or even when they do Mars Chronicles, if they do Mars Chronicles as a series on Disney Plus or something like that.
I don't know if they can afford. Yeah, just the budget is the
now,
only way.
Now Cameron's going to be more about the movie, you know, the theatrical.
Should be. Hopefully, he's fighting for that.
Yeah, but Rodriguez wants to do a series in addition. So, you know, I think it works. I think it goes to our benefit. I think. Yeah, New Year's resolution. Yeah, that's right, Finn. An Alita sequel. Absolutely. So anyway, but I think that was one obvious similarity to me. And you guys can think of any other similarities in terms of the story or what's behind it or whatever between Alita and Avatar 2.
It's all about having a strong heart.
Yes.
Mighty.
Yes. Well, this one thing that occurred to me that was at the beginning of Avatar 2 is when Colonel Quaritch, I hope I'm pronouncing his
Quaritch,
name right.
I always think of Colonel Quaritch as well.
Yeah. Well, Colonel Quaritch, you know, he's got an avatar now, or he's in an avatar body, you know.
Yeah.
And his memories are that of the human Colonel Quaritch. Now that reads a lot like the manga, doesn't it? Where, you know, Alita finally gets a brain chip in her Imaginos body, but it is Alita's memories from her human, you know, her brain, you know. That was an obvious thing to me too on that one, you know. I really like the actor too that played Colonel Quaritch. That his name is Stephen Lang, and he's I think you guys probably saw that tweet I put out of him and his I think his work, his gym and his fridge, you know. But that guy Stephen Lang, he also played in another movie I bet nobody even has thought about here. Was he also played Ike Clanton in the movie Tombstone? And that character, when you look at him and you look at Colonel Quaritch, you say, no, that's not the same person. But it is. It is the same person, you know. He is really a good actor. You know, he is excellent. And what I really like about him in Avatar 2 and in Avatar when he was playing human Colonel Quaritch, he has so much that Marine Corps, you know, vibe, you know, like, and one thing he said, you know, this is going to be a hard mission, stuff like that, to find the leader of the Na'vi and stuff like that. And he says, outstanding. I love that. That is so U.S. Marines. That is right there. And
and it's obviously a callback to them saying it in other movies. There's obviously a little pickle there.
Well, he said outstanding in the first movie at some point too, I think, you know, so
Jake Sully said it in the first movie.
Yeah, and I believe he even said it in the second movie too. He said outstanding.
Jake, I don't know. I thought it was just Quaritch who said it, and it was to be like
with
Jake saying it in the first movie.
I think Jake said it too. He said in the second movie, he said outstanding.
Yeah, he might have done. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah. So that is so Marine, so U.S. Marines, you know. So, and they probably do the same in the Aussie military too. We'd have to ask Dizzy that, wouldn't we? So, I guess. Well, Angelus, you were in the military, weren't you, Angelus?
No, but
what
was the movie that he starred in as a blind man?
As who?
As a blind man.
Who? Stephen Lang?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I think it was Just Breathe. Something like that.
It was is what, Lee?
Just Breathe. That rings a bell.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I do remember that movie. I saw it. Don't Breathe, I think.
Don't Breathe. Okay,
that's the one.
Yeah, I knew it was long. I knew it was nearly right. Yeah, he was great in that. He's great. I love Stephen Lang.
Well, what I like about Stephen Lang too is that, you know, he's 70 years old and he has a home gym.
Is he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, he's 70. So
he's older than old Jimmy Cameron.
Yeah, he is. But he sure pulled off that character. He, you know, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's quite a physical role as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's in good shape. If y'all saw that tweet I sent out, he's in really good shape. I mean, you know.
Wow.
Better shape than you, Creaky?
Well, I don't know about better shape. I don't know if he's stronger than I am or not, you know, but my guess would be no. but who knows, you know, I don't know, you know. He did say in that one video clip that he used to lift for strength, but now he lifts for, you know, just to maintain or, you know, to keep his quality of life going, you know. Whereas I kind of lift for strength, you know, I want to get stronger, you know, so, which also helps your quality of life. Anyway, kind of like Maxie. Maxie lifts. So does Angelus. So they lift. So that's a good thing. So any other similarities in Alita and Avatar 2 can you guys think of?
Except for like physical comparisons in the water scenes.
Yeah.
Just that.
Well, I liked the callback, you know, to, you know, all of the military, you know, type stuff, you know, that they were kind of alluding to in Avatar 2. Well, you know, Alita was in the military, you know, she was in the military.
Yeah, she's in the
Yeah, so she's, you know, in a lot of ways, she's like a Marine, you know, or she going up that supply tube. That'd be something the Marines would do, you know. So she's very much like that herself, you know. So I would say that's somewhat of a similarity, although that might be a stretch. Some might think, you know, oh, okay, Creek, all right, there was military in both movies. All right, yeah, there is. So
they're kind of like quite different stories, but they've got the same kind of Cameron heart to them.
Yes.
But focuses on like the character and the like tragic journey they go on.
Yeah, very Cameron.
Really well.
Yeah,
very Cameron-esque. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both the first and the second one and Alita, they all center around identity and in different aspects of it. You can't really say it's about humanity because they're not human; they're Navi. But
yeah,
I think it's, you know, diving into purpose and diving into, you know, just kind of I mean, again, you want to say humanity of like what it means to be human, and I think that's what I think to the audience, that's what they take away from it.
Yeah,
yeah, or what it's like to be a sentient being. You know, as a way I would, kind of way.
Which is that's humanity in a way itself, really.
Yeah, it is.
As far as we know, we're the only ones, but
yeah,
it could be having the same experience somewhere else.
I think how Avatar goes about it is, I think it's going to be like, what is consciousness, and is consciousness something that is not just each individual, but it's everything is connected. And I think you can kind of see that in Alita, or the manga. Yeah, I think you can see that a little bit too. But I think it does kind of focus a little bit more on the uniqueness of each individual including like the AR series and such and things like that. So I think they're a little different in those aspects, but extremely similar on the main points that they touch at the very core of the element of the story.
Yes. Well, the whole family thing in Avatar 2 is kind of expanded, but you get a little bit of that in Alita between.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Alita,
Ito
and
Alita, the way they,
you know.
Yeah, the way they have the little hug after, and he gives her some fatherly advice. That's all over Avatar 2 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they interviewed the actress that played Gerhard, and she said basically her role was kind of like to be like the mother to Alita, you know. So there was kind of a family vibe there too as well. I think it's more pronounced, you know, in Avatar 2 because there's a lot about the kids, you know. But I think
also Avatar and Alita, they kind of feel like sort of more mom and pop franchise. I know obviously it's $1 billion franchise, but because it's all from that one vision from Cameron, and that he's got this whole like family around him of filmmakers who are helping him bring it to life. It's got that kind of family meta to it as well.
Yes.
Which is really cool. I like that about it.
Oh, yeah. Any other thoughts about this movie, guys?
Can't wait to see it again. I'll hopefully have some more thoughts. I love Payakan. I love the Tolkien. You're not allowed to call it a whale because Cameron gets upset.
Yeah. Oh, that creature that was exiled from the others. That's right.
The other big whale thing, the one that was exiled. And he made friends with Loak.
Yeah,
I remember all the names of the characters. People say you don't remember the names of anything in Avatar, but it's just not true.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me is how detailed they got even into creating a concept of the biology of the creatures.
Yeah, I love that.
You know,
there's all these sketches
it's not
of like the body muscles and stuff. I've seen they're really cool.
Right, because it's so much different than Star Wars with like the X-wing or something like that. Because even though you might have a post-movie like design concepts, like this is something that moves, and they design it so they can predict what the muscle movements would look like through the skin, so they can have a convincing movement. So it's like infinitely harder in the design.
Yeah, it's great. Well, you know, one thing that reminded me of it too was that in American history, you know, the whites kind of were, you know, put upon the American Indians, you know, moved them from their lands and fought them, and you know, basically were at odds, you know, with American Indians. Well, this is the same thing here. You know, here they're seeing profit. Now they didn't mention unobtainium in Avatar 2, but they were after that. Now, I'm spoiling too much, I guess, but they're after that substance, you know, from that one whale that supposedly extended life in humans, you know.
Tolkien.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't matter, you know, about what this does to the native population by killing these creatures or whatever. This benefits us. We're taking it, you know.
Save the whales.
Well, that spoke a lot to me, you know. So, but you know,
how can you not be down for saving the whales? Exactly.
Yeah, you want to save the whales, you know, for sure.
It's like it's got a really good message that like everyone can agree with. Some people see stuff like that and say, "Oh, that's like woke or whatever," but it just seems to me like universal truths. Like obviously you want to protect the environment, and you want to protect the natural habitants.
Well, some would say that the conflicts between the humans and the Na'vi in this case, and the way they portrayed it, some might say, "Oh, that's woke" or something like that. But here's the thing: this is a case to where this contributed to the story. You know, it wasn't just being woke for woke's sake. You know, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't that to me at all.
It's a core part of Cameron's vision for the
story.
World.
Yeah, that's right.
It's got artistic integrity. It's not like an afterthought. Like, oh, I've got to tick this box, so I'll do this.
Yeah, that's right. Because the Hollywood elite want me to say this about this part of our social justice message or whatever, you know, stuff like that. You know, to me, it was an integral part of the story, and it contributed.
Yeah,
as long
and
as
he's not preachy about it on interviews either.
Yes, and
he's very self-aware. He like said like oh, I managed to get all my hippy dippy stuff in, or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
so he's
that's the whole
self-aware
thing.
and self-deprecating, which is nice. He's
When
not
they
like trying to
do-
preach and make everyone else feel bad for not supporting what he does.
Well, when you do this for the sake of the story and it contributes to the story, I'm okay with it.
Exactly.
But if it's put woke stuff in there just for it to be some
it's just boring.
I don't want to see that shit. You know, I just don't. You know, so. But anyway, that's another story. You know, I guess I don't want to get too political here because I guess everybody on this stream knows my political leanings. But at this case, when it comes to movies, I don't want that in the movies unless it contributes greatly to the story and it doesn't, you know, it helps the story. It doesn't hurt it. You know, I mean.
Well, yeah, let's also hope that Cameron like keeps any like kind of, because Disney often they go through like marketing strategies where they think that a lot of this political stuff is like needed for, I don't know, for reasons. So I'm hoping Cameron keeps it like pure to just adapting the original in that kind of like 90s style before like everything went crazy.
Yeah. Another thing I think is really good about the movie too is how the slight differences between the water people and the forest people, you know.
Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, the water people had thicker tails. They had
thicker arms.
Their arms were bigger, so it could help them swim, you know, and stuff like that. And it was believable, you know.
That's why I'm looking forward to the ash people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
I wonder if the ash people can like, I don't know, walk through fire or something.
Yeah.
I would expect so.
What do you mean you are burning? This is easy, low temperature.
Yeah.
Come to our place for barbecue and coal walking. You want now?
They do. The Barbie. Do they do that in Australia, coal walking here, Maxie? Or
no?
I didn't think so.
throw another shrimp on the Navi. Did somebody just say that?
No,
throw another shrimp on the Navi.
Oh my God, is that Angelus again? Oh my God.
I said Barbie, but Navi works too.
So no, I love that.
Yeah, Kiri was my favorite character in this. I mean, I really liked her, you know.
Yeah, I loved her scenes. Sometimes it like went from her like scene of blissfully connecting with Awa nature, and then it suddenly cut to like the army grunts, and I'm like, no, bring back Kiri.
Yeah.
So another similarity there is obviously you have to look at the manga and go into Mars Chronicles for this, but like how Alita was like created or like, you know, born was out of interesting circumstances. And Kiri is also, at least as of right now, it seems like it's like an immaculate conception type situation.
Virgins in the Force. I mean,
well, she probably wasn't a virgin, but you know,
virgins. Well, that's what they called Anakin anyway.
Well, it was actually. Well, remember they had that term. They didn't say half breed, but it was a term like they called them aliens for one thing. You know, Navis that had 4 fingers, you know, were aliens to them.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was interesting. You know, it was almost like a racial. You know, okay, you're different. We don't like you forest people. We're different. You know, something like that. And particularly you're an alien. You know.
Well, so I think it's, I mean, obviously if they knew they had 4 fingers, then they knew that they were like the, you know, like a fake, you know, because of what they were doing before, they were artificial. Like they kind of knew they were like artificial, like in a way, you know, from like the first movie. So.
And I can understand why some would be like, you're not real Na'vi sort of thing.
Right, exactly. So
it makes sense.
But that being said, like obviously, you know, they give the you know, or I guess they're showing that, you know, her body, although like the avatar itself was still living like in a sleep state, and obviously the, you know, I forget that character's name, the doctor's name.
Oh, Grace.
Grace Augustine.
So,
Grace Augustine, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but obviously, you know, her, you know, the way that I view that whole thing is during the during the attempts to transfer her to the Avatar body, and one, like, although she didn't have enough energy, I think the whole point was that she still went into Awa, and I think through that, it was like not enough to inhabit the body, but enough to like create a seed that grew. You know?
Yes. That was a neat scene when Kiri goes, into Awa, and meets up with Dr. Grace Augustine. It's kind of a neat thing, thinking, these the same people, but the way they interacted and everything, that was kind of cool the way they did that, I think.
Which means Cameron separated the two characters, and they're their own characters or people.
Yes. Yeah, that was extremely cool, I think. Yeah, I maybe I like Kiri so much because she kind of reminds me of Alita, Maybe
I was definitely getting that whilst I was
yeah.
watching.
Yeah. Although one's human.
I love
and
this
the
girl's
other's zombie.
wide-eyed view of the world. It was that kind of feeling like I got from Alita.
Yes. And haters, the Na'vi have big eyes. So what are you going to do about that, haters? Oh my God. So.
The eyes are the windows to the soul, and then some good windows.
That's right. That's exactly right, Maxie. So, any other similarities you guys can think of? When is the time period for Avatar, for the Avatar movies? Is that in the 22nd century or 21st century, or what is it?
I can't remember exactly.
I don't think we're near interstellar flight like that. So it's got to be no earlier than the 22nd century.
So what this movie reminded me of was, it reminded me of basically what the movie depicted the fall was like.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the ships and like the,
Mm-hmm.
the what was it that it was the ships something in the sky burned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what that beginning. Right. So I mean, that's what when they were showing those things decelerating to Pandora, like that's what it really kind of reminded me of. I mean, I know it wasn't like a battle scene.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. The sky people have returned.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. So it kind of
It's a bit
reminded
like
me
that,
of
yeah.
the whole fall situation, and almost as if like this was like the beginning of that like long, arduous battle. And obviously, I think this whole premise of this movie is that it's going to have a different outcome. Trying to avoid the post-apocalyptic, but it's kind of.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's like their fall.
Yeah.
It's the Pandora's fall.
Well, there was one thing
the sky
about that,
people.
about the technology of the humans. They had built that base in 1 year, and it was bigger than that fort they had in the first movie. So yeah, it seems to me the Na'vi weren't completely successful in removing the humans from the first movie. Because they were back pretty quick and built this big, fort or big, city looking thing. So.
Yeah, it looked like a giant 3D printer.
Yes. But the humans are there, and they're there in a big way, bigger than they were before. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out, I think. All right, guys. Any other similarities anybody can think of? Cool. Well, anyway, this is why I think all this good stuff is going to culminate in an Alita sequel. First of all, as you guys heard me say, Avatar making $1.5 billion in 3 weeks, grossing that's not, you can't
Massive
ignore
W.
that. That is irresistible knowledge right there, and that is a lot of money. I don't care how stupid management is, they're not that stupid. you know, to
That's
know.
a lot of cheddar.
So also the fan, that to me, that first bullet is the driving force. That's the biggest factor in this whole thing. You know, number two, the fans love Avatar 2, you know, and you can see that from the audience score, you know, on Rotten Tomatoes, 92, same as Alita, you know, and they love that movie. And of course, Cameron and Landau, they both want to produce Alita 2. They want to, and Rodriguez wants to direct it. I mean, that's a given. Now they've got credibility, a lot more credibility, you know, when they make all that money, you know, from that movie, you know, so from Avatar 2. So that's going to help. Certainly, Rosa wants to play Alita. And what is neat about that is that Sigourney Weaver playing Kiri. Sigourney Weaver's a lot older than Rosa Salazar. That's for sure. I'm not sure her exact age, but I want to say she's in her 60s, but I'm not sure about that. I could be wrong, you know. But
that's not to guess a lady's age.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I know. But the whole thing is getting an adult, you know, with that mocap. It is very feasible that an adult, when you got a really good actor.
Cricky?
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver, I think she's a year older than you, isn't she? She's 73.
No, I'm 73.
Oh, there you go. She's born in the same year as you, dude.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. So if she can play, you know, I saw an interesting interview with Sigourney Weaver about, she was talking to James Cameron, you know, they went to lunch together, and James Cameron says he wants her to play this character, Kiri, you know, and they were talking about it and said, well, Kiri's 14 years old. And Sigourney Weaver looks at him and said, do you want me to play a teenager? And she said, and Cameron says to her, yeah, you're immature anyway. You can handle it. It was kind of funny, you know, and Sigourney Weaver laughed about it, you know. She said, yeah, I am. So anyway, but, you know, but it just, you know, that's not an issue, you know, the age of a person playing a part like that, particularly with that mocap, you know, I mean, it's just not, you know, you get a good actor, they can pull it off.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely
all about
can.
the performance.
Yeah. And of course, all of the actors that were associated with the first Alita movie, they want to do another movie. You know, they do. They want. Now, part of that, of course, is they, you know, some of them I think would say, well, yeah, it's another paycheck, maybe, you know, but I think they honestly want to make a sequel. You know, Elle Lamont wants to be in the sequel. So does Jesse Fisher. You know, they definitely do it. And Christoph Waltz has said that he would love to be in a sequel, you know, and I think it's, you know, Ed Skrein, you know, he loved playing Zapan.
He says he's just waiting for Rodriguez's email.
Yeah.
Ed. Still waiting for it.
Yeah. And certainly it says the fans want Alita 2. Well, that's another big driving force here. When Alita 1 came out, you know, there wasn't an Alita army.
Exactly.
Now there is. And we will help them in our way, the way we've done, all of us have done, you know, fighting for that sequel. You know, we will help them with the marketing, you know, all of that intangible stuff they don't have to worry about. We are going to be tweeting. We are going to be doing more videos. We are going to be doing more posts on Instagram and Facebook. And these people can just count on us to get the word out. You know, and one thing about movies.
Hype.
Yeah, that's right. Word of mouth is a big thing in movies, you know?
Yeah. And so I was going to say too, and again, I don't want to, you know, it's just an idea.
Mm-hmm. No, it's all right.
But I think because, I mean, we know Cameron and Lando is going to be at the Oscars this year. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying a banner would be like almost like our calling card.
Yeah, it'd be a great callback as well.
And you know, people would be asking them on the red carpet
definitely
about it, because people will see it. They're like, ooh, do you see people asking for this again? They flew that plane
Yeah.
again. There's no way that
that's
it
a great
wouldn't
idea.
be talked about on the red carpet.
Mm.
When is the Oscars?
And the Schneider Cut guys might have given up by then, so
Yeah.
not
When
looking
is
good
it?
for them.
When is the Oscars? Is that in March or is it? When is it?
I think it's March. Something might be in February.
I might have to be leaving soon, but
It's in March.
on that topic, yeah, that's probably something that we might have to bring up tomorrow as well. Just in, if anything, maybe in a bit of a side discussion in the news section, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we need to plan on that. We need to plan on doing another, banner, airplane banner type thing like you guys did in 2020. We need to do that. So the creek will help
again in 2021 over the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So we're due another one this year. We've done one the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, hell, let's just do another one. Hey, the creek will throw some money at it. That's for sure. I definitely will. But yeah, who really was the driver on that one? Was that Tony that did that, Maxie, or?
Yeah, well, Tony that I remember, but I think Dennis and a few of the other guys were in on it.
Okay.
Oh God, ST was big on it because he's a pilot.
Yeah. And that next to the last bullet, not only does Disney need the content, these people need the money. And now they've got a little bit of money. No, they don't. They don't have a little bit of money. They have a whole bunch of money. That's what they have, So, we lost Jeffrey. So anyway.
It's like I said, they got to pay off their dues, and it depends what the interest rate was on that money that Cameron had tied up there for so long. I mean, once it kicks over about $2 billion, I figure he's in the black, even with interest rates.
Shit, I think he's in the black right now. Yeah. I mean,
you know what California accounting is like.
Yeah,
I think that Disney will be happy when it clicks over $2 billion. I think they'll be saying, right, he's paid his dues. We can give him some more leeway now.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to be tempted right now, but I see your point. Probably by the end of the month, they will have $2 billion. That's my opinion, but, or at least by the end of February, they'll have $2 billion, so hopefully they'll have $2 billion by Valentine's Day. That'll be the neat thing.
Imagine if it hits $2 billion on Alita anniversary.
Yes, that'd be nice. Beautiful. It would. Did I miss anything, guys, about why? Now, this is all the Creakies. That's my opinions up there. Well, the fact that Avatar 2 made $1.5 billion, that's not an opinion. That's objective right there. They made $1.5 billion, or they grossed $1.5 billion, and when you factor in $400 million for the production of it, and then, throw in maybe another, 40 to 50%, for PR and stuff like that, marketing, they still made $1 billion. So, that's a lot of money, I mean, as we saw from that list that we put up a little while ago, it's already in 3 weeks, it's already gone past Top Gun Maverick. So, I mean, holy crap, and it passed all of the Marvel sequels, and a couple
in like a week.
Yeah, that's right. It passed them, I mean, holy crap. So, but there are my points up there. Anybody got anything else? Maxie, I know you're probably keen on some of this stuff. What, anything I left out up there? Or?
I guess our biggest concern at this point is Cameron and Rodriguez maintaining creative control. I think that's the sort of stick in the paint tin, and as long as they manage to do that, then it'll be okay. But if the woke crowd get in there and try and force their ideas in, then they could end up rather disappointing. But hopefully Cameron, with this success, has got so much kudos that they wouldn't dare mess with it.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that, what Cameron says is law as far as filmmaking in 2023. So if he says, okay, I want money for Alita 2, Rodriguez is going to direct, I'm going to be writing the script along with Rodriguez and maybe later, and you guys keep your freaking nose out of it if you want some more money. That's what I want him to say, and that's what I want them to do.
And if they do say, if they do try to tell him, get this in there and get that in there, he'll say, no.
Exactly.
No, we're not putting that in there.
Do you want Avatar 4 to make you another $2 billion? You do? Okay, shut up. Go away.
Yeah.
In the end, you want money more than anything at the moment. I will be providing that if you just go away and let me make my movies.
Well, think of the potential here. Here's Avatar. Now, Avatar 1 made 2.9 or grossed 2.9 billion. Avatar 2 is now 1.5 billion after 3 weeks. And they've got 3, 4, and 5 coming. Think about how much freaking money these people are making on these movies. Holy crap.
Yeah, look, it's been a long road, but I think the investors will be happy at this quarter.
Maybe I need to go buy my Disney stock back.
Well, I would have hung on to it if I was you, if I was stock investing, knowing that this was in the pipe. I would have hung on, but
well, I think it's still down a little. I can still get some, but anyway, it is what it is. Anything you can think of, Lee, that's maybe not up there, either tangible or intangible, that you can think of, you or Blotty?
Nothing really jumps out at me.
But yet Disney needs content that's not the MCU, which is in decline. So surely they'll know that Cameron and Rodriguez can make some really good shit like the first Alita. So why wouldn't they greenlight a sequel?
See, I think Alita 2 is going to make more money than Alita 1. I love Alita 1 for sure.
It will have a better organized and marketed release as well, because it won't be in the middle of the
Well, they won't have all that bullshit for the merger and all that stuff in there. That won't be a factor this time, So I think it's the skids are greased, as they would say, I think good times are ahead, or positive things are ahead for our girl on this one. So here's the thing though. We do need to keep Pepper and Disney.
Oh yeah. Don't let up.
Yeah. That's right. There's a thing in sports where you have the killer instinct at the end. You're ahead, you're winning the game, and now you're going to put the opponent away. That's what we want to. That's our mindset. We want to make sure that Disney does this, and now we're not like Cameron and Landau and Rodriguez for sure on this, but we can do what we can do. And we just keep pounding them until they cave in. That's my philosophy.
Keep pounding them like Romo's head.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like that scene in that movie Soldier. When the guy says that when you want to drive a nail into a piece of wood, you keep pounding it until the sucker's in. It was kind of a stupid. But
don't let off when you think it's in the goal. Wait until it is in the goal.
That's right. Yep.
Keep at it.
So anyway, that's where we are, folks. That's where I think Maxie is his prediction's going to come true here. Oscars. Oh, here's one thing Jeff says. Oscars is on March the 12th, 2023. Yeah. So we need to start getting organized on that one, Maxie. What do you think?
Well, I'm hoping that we get a green light before then. I'm hoping for February 14, but
also drag out a little bit.
Well, I mean for the banner, the plane flying over with a
Well,
banner.
well, the thing is, if it's greenlit before the Oscars, then we're going to have to change what we put on the banner, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to figure out something.
Maybe we got our sequel or something like that.
Yeah.
Alita Army, we got our sequel or something. I don't know, but
yeah, who knows? We can come up with something, but yeah. But just because we get greenlit doesn't mean we need to, because they can change their mind. We don't want them to.
I don't think they'd double back on Cameron. If they agree to it, they'd stick to it because contracts and him making more Avatar movies and making tons of money for them. I just can't see them backpedaling on it.
Yeah, I don't
if they give in, that's it. There'll be signatures, wedding, done deal. Yeah. I can't see them backpedaling.
Yeah.
That would be stupid. I mean, people do stupid things every day, but that would just be super stupid.
Yeah. And just to remind everybody, I want to play this video again, just so everybody knows that we got some big hitters behind us. So here it is.
Hey, let's make another Alita film. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do that. Fans
all right.
More.
Blood Oath.
Let's do it.
Right?
Blood Oath right here.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Robert.
The Blood Oath.
The Creek is excited. And I think we all are in the Alita Army. That's
yep.
But let's don't give in. Let's pound them. Let's keep pounding them, Okay, guys, I guess we've been going on now for over 2 hours.
Yeah, it's super late here now.
Yeah. Did we miss anything, you guys?
I don't think so. Can't think of anything.
What about you, Lee? Did you think did we miss anything?
Nothing really that I can think of. Oh, I did want to mention something real quick on that review you left. It would be 1963 if it were actually 600 years.
Yeah.
But in a later chapter, Jason's talking to Gerhard and mentions that, it was only 550 years, but I like to round up because it sounds more impressive.
Okay. I got you. All right, cool.
129.95.
Yeah, I enjoyed that chapter 4. The introduction and chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. I liked 4. It was good. It was good.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil. So but it was really I really enjoyed it. I really liked the interaction between Jason and Loretta. She's trying to get him to go to the motorball game, and he's just kind of messing with her, I think.
Yep. Yeah, he was totally screwing with her.
Yeah, he was. So anyway, that it is what it is there. So okay, we didn't miss anything except just to remind everybody that Alita does love her Uncle Creek. That's for sure. And she's going to get to meet him in about 540 years too, probably. So there you have it. And there's our queen right there. And this lady is really great. She's a super duper actor, and she is definitely number one in the Creek's book in terms of her acting ability. I think she needs to be recognized more and stuff like that. And I know she wants to play Alita. So anyway,
we want her to play Alita too.
You betcha we do. And of course, it certainly doesn't hurt that she's pretty. That's for sure. Creek likes that about her too. So anyway, the Creek also likes Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher too. I mean, they're my 3 celebrity crushes right there. So anyway, I hope I don't embarrass them too much with that. Of course, they probably never see this stream, but who knows? You never know. So anyway, okay, Maxie, I think you're the host tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I noticed it hadn't been updated on the show notes yet, or at least
My
the last
apologies.
time I looked at it. That's all right.
I've actually been working on the poster while I'm talking to you guys.
Okay. So what's happening here on this episode of Radio Chaos?
Well, getting some Alita artists together and talking art. I was hoping if Vladdy would come along as well if he's got the time.
Some fan art.
Bring some photos of.
I possibly will be able to. I'm going to be staying in London from tomorrow, but I think I might be able to when I'm there.
Cool. So if you can bring along your latest selection of awesome Hot Toys Alita photos. We can talk about them. Hopefully Creaky will knock together one of his famous PowerPoints with lots of Alita art in it for us to spam.
I can do it.
Excellent. So I've got Kran coming on to talk about the plushies, the ups and downs of making those, and show some pictures of them. I don't know if any of you guys ordered some plushies, but if you have, take some pictures of those. We'll wave those.
Oh,
around.
Creek's got a plushie. I'll take a picture of it.
Excellent. Or wave in front of the camera at the time, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Also, Mattau's going to come on. She hasn't chatted to us for a while, so she's keen. She hasn't done any recent Alita art, but we can still go over her previous stuff and have another squiz at that. And we've got a new Alita artist coming from Melbourne. His handle on Twitter is Studio Fazilla. You can just search FEZILLA and pick him up. He claimed to be the biggest Alita fan in Australia, but he hadn't met me yet. So we shall compare notes tomorrow.
Yeah,
and there'll be if any of you watch anime, there'll be that sort of staring at each other with the sparks in between as we try and work out who's the bigger fan. I'm happy to be number 2, but he's going to have to earn it. So his IRL name is Luke, and we'll be chatting with him and seeing some of his artwork that he hasn't shown before. So there'll be some new stuff going around. So that'll be interesting. And the Alita Army will get to know a new Alita artist who's a big fan of the manga, and we'll drag him kicking and screaming into the Alita Army and get him on board for the sequel. So we'll do all that stuff.
Nice.
And if there's any other Alita artists who would like to jump on, you're quite welcome. Just send one of us who's in the team a ping, and we'll send you the StreamYard links so you can jump on and talk about your art too, because we're all about the artists this week. We want to be able to chat with the artists and see their awesome work. So bring it on.
We got some great artists in the Alita Army. Geez, they're great. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But if Vladdy, if you know any other artists in your area that might want to come on, just share the link with them.
Okay.
I'll see
if I can think of any.
Yeah, cool. I'll be sending the links out very shortly as soon as this stream's over.
Please.
So you can share it around. Happy to have any other artists that want to come on, but I've lined those 3 up. Kran said that she'll be probably busy working in the background while she's talking to us, but that's Kran. We're used to that. So.
Angelus wants to know about my video artistry. I don't think we're going to do videos there, Angelus, but I might pull up a video of one of the art, some of the art. I might do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
run some of that in the background or something. That'd be all right.
Yeah, sure it would.
We can have fun with it. It doesn't have to be too serious.
Yeah. Okay, so join us for tomorrow, on Radio Chaos. We're going to have a lot of fun. I really love it when we get Kran and Mathau on the same stream. Those two are a hoot when they're together.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be, I'll bet you dollars to donuts that we're going to see some Zex art.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, you think?
Yeah. For sure.
I wonder if Fazilla's done any Zexark art and can show Kran and Mathau. That could be interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh, they'd fall in love with it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, why is this image here? Well, this image is here because I like it. And I'm running the stream, so that's why it's there. And to paraphrase Gerwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And as a matter of fact, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl, for sure. So, with that said, it is time to do, just like we do on Radio Chaos, a call to action. And that'd be on my count of 3, and that would be 1, 2, 3. Film
sequels,
baby. Oh, that was excellent.
Living dangerously there.
Yeah, it is. So we'll see you next week on the Alita live stream. We'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
Bye.
See you guys.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.